I wanted to come to a bunker.
Yeah.
For the sake of not being near the Yarmouth house. And now you're saying that you're comparing and contrasting what you may have saw there.
I just saw it. I saw it, and then it was gone.
No, this room's not okay. This room is not okay. Turn your light off for a second. Okay, turn it back on. Hold with me for a second. Okay. Paul went in there earlier, and he said he heard something, and he felt something. I'm gonna ask him what he heard, because I just heard something.
Okay, so James, you had an experience down this hallway.
I did. When I originally started working here, I got hired to do the painting down here. So when you're doing the painting, you continuously have to sweep up the vapor, and you have to lock everything down so nobody can come in or out of here. And this room right here has three doors in and out. And when you're walking, or when you're going up, you can see all of them from where we're standing here. When I'm sweeping the floor, there's no one else down here because the vapor is too much, and that's why I'm sweeping. So the other two people that work here are locked upstairs. So I thought one of them was trying to play a trick on me because I'm sweeping the floor and I'm looking up the hallway. And as I see the door in the distance up here, I can see all three doors, and I see someone run down the hallway towards me and then deke into the room. And I'm like, oh, that's no big deal. That's nothing major. It's happened before. It's probably just Scott or Anthony, the other two coworkers that I work with, trying to screw with me. But I was like, I don't know. So I took my time and I just kept sweeping the hallway. I figured if I got there, I'd pop in and scare them before they got me. So I get here, I'm right into this door right here, and the hallway lights are on, and there was lights on in the hallway in that room as well, so it was very light. And I jumped in and tried to scare the person right here, but there was no one in here, and all the lights in this room shut off on me.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty freaky.
So you saw somebody run down the hallway.
I seen somebody cut the corner, run right into
here.
this room. And when I was coming up the hallway, I figured I'd play it cool, and I'd get to scare one of my coworkers who were trying to play a trick on me, but there was just nobody here. And then my next job, after painting these hallways, were coming in this room and to paint this room white and then black. And it was really eerie to be down here. You would get cold feelings, and then you'd get really warm, and you'd feel like someone was touching your face when you were painting, but there's nobody around you.
You felt someone touch your face?
Yeah, I was standing in this room on a ladder painting the wall with a sprayer, and I'm wearing a mask, and the mask covers most of your face, and I could still feel something swiping across my face, and I kept taking my mask off. I kept taking my hood off, everything, thinking there was something stuck in it. There was nothing there. I said that to another guy that worked here, and he was like, oh man, Anthony says that all the time. He says he feels something brush across his face while he's working. It's a little freaky down here by yourself. bring a flashlight and you're kind of always looking behind you and getting that feeling when you run up the staircase that something's chasing you kind of thing. So yeah, it's freaky by yourself.
So you've seen things, you've had something maybe physically interact with you. Have you had any other kinds of experiences?
I've heard random stuff, like I've heard, there's a guy that works here that whistles a lot, so you think it's a regular occurrence, and I kept hearing people whistling while I was down here, not thinking he was here. So we have an app that lets you know who's in and out of the building at what time, so I would check the app. And I know it sounds a little silly to be like, oh, no one's whistling, but you're the only person in the building and you're checking to see if he's there. And there's really nobody else in there. We're down in this section of the building and there's 32,000 square feet down here, so you shouldn't be hearing anybody singing or whistling.
Wow.
And it's got to the point where Anthony and I have gone looking for it, like gone looking for somebody singing in the building.
Okay, so Anthony, you've had experiences here as well. And did these experiences start like right away, or did they just yesterday? Like how?
No, probably a couple months into it, probably like 6 months into it, it started getting like where you actually notice something. Like you'd be like, what the heck was that? You know what I mean? At first, I guess you'd almost be like, it's just someone going by, corner of your eye or something, like another worker or something, right? You wouldn't think nothing of it, just go back to work. And then after 6 months, you're like, there was no one there. Why am I seeing something go by? At first, you're just like noticing something in the corner of your eye, and you don't really think too much of it. And then you're like, that looked like a person that just walked by. And then it got to the point where you look down a hall, like upstairs, look down the hall and actually see the partner I'm working with in his asbestos suit duck back into a room, and he's not there. He's actually out of the quarantine section without a suit on.
Have you had anything else happen, like this room in particular?
Oh yes, in this room itself, because like it's dark, it's creepy, we like to scare each other. We'll come in, we'll actually think that you're seeing someone right across here, like ducking down, trying to hide. They're not there, because you go back in, there's only one way out of this room, and that's through the other side, and they're not in there.
Whew.
Yeah. Now, this whole place used to be quarantined off, and right over here is the premier section. And when I come out of here, I've like literally seen the guy I was working with run from this door into there, right? And
Yeah?
it wasn't him.
It's not them.
It's not him. Go find out, he's upstairs. He's not even down here. Now this as well, then we had this cut off, that door, and that door was the only way in, was through that door.
Okay.
These were all sealed vapor, like we have to have a certain air pressure because we can't let asbestos leave the room.
Okay.
And as you go by, it almost sounded like you could actually hear music too. I know it sounds weird, but you could hear definitely singing because the buddy I'm working with, you're like, can you hear that? It sounds like music, someone's singing. And then you come in, no one's in here. We've come in and all these doors have been shut from the inside, and these are pretty heavy doors,
Yeah.
right? So you'd have to go in from the inside. Now, not too many people want to risk their health going into a quarantine section of asbestos, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really make sense. And at the same time, we've come down here and like start off with work, and the door will be open. Now, no one would do that. No one would risk everyone's like health or something like that, but it'd be like, now good thing we have other places still also taped off, because what we call them man traps, you know what I mean? Because so if something did escape, it's still in a barrier, you know what I mean? Either way, someone still didn't latch the door, and as you come, and as we're like looking at it, you can almost hear like talking, like conversating on the inside. So we like literally rushed to come in to see who it was. Like we don't even put on our suits, we just put on our masks because we want to catch whoever's messing with us, you know what I mean? And no one's in here.
So you feel like whatever this is actually, it's tricking you. It's trying to play.
Yes, it's intelligent, definitely.
Okay,
What up?
what's this bad boy?
Oh, that is a mirror. Why do we have a mirror? Why is there tape on the mirror?
Just to hold it up.
Oh.
Take a seat. It wasn't my idea. Hey, listen, I think between you and me, we both know that I hate mirrors, especially after what happened at Yarmouth.
Yeah, what do you think that was?
What do I think that? Really?
Yeah.
I'm of the belief that you were not yourself
I'd agree with that.
You ever see Blair Witch Project?
Yeah.
At the end, where he's just staring at a wall, like it's Scott in the corner, he stares at the wall,
Yeah.
and you never know if there's anything behind you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Sit there.
Okay.
That camera's got you, and talk to the space. Talk to yourself. If you want to say Great Aunt Myrtle, come back and talk to me, or Ghost Hitler. Doesn't matter. Anything will do. But it's even more fun.
In the jar.
Yes. Although there is some light coming from them. Feel free though, if you get something happens, do one of two things: turn your light on,
Yep.
and you can also call us. You know, you can have a running monologue, or you can sit here for 5 minutes in total silence. That works too. That's weird. But if you hear anything, you see anything other than their lights or their voices,
Okay.
I mean, I probably should warn you that I've already opened a portal, or I tend to do that.
Oh,
So
good.
I've called down demons, and anything's free to come in. So it's a potpourri of evil
Yeah.
tonight.
Open.
Fine. Hi, everybody. I can't really see where Kristen is. There you go. She's new. She's new, and you know, I'm just opening it up to anything that might be out there. You've said hello to me, Dylan, Chelsea, Tabor, Jim. I think I'm pointing at her right now. Time to come down and say hi to her. Feel free to communicate with her in any way, shape, or form you want. Remembering, there is a $10,000 bonus if it levitates you.
Okay.
So, and she might talk to you. We've encouraged her to speak to you. But come, like we're dropping her in the deep end. Let's see if she can swim.
Okay. Well,
We won't let you sink, though.
okay. Don't close the door. Okay.
So it wasn't anything that was going to be good.
I don't know if that's a way to necessarily describe it. What up?
So just so you know, I dropped her in the deep end in that room way down there. So she's sitting staring at a wall in the chair. It's a Blair Witch Project kind of thing.
Good
Alrighty.
luck, Kristen. Down the far end.
As far down as you can go.
Okay, cool.
Kristen? See? There you go.
Thanks.
So if you hear somebody talking, that's probably
That's
her.
probably that.
Okay.
Okay.
Have fun.
Okay, bye.
So, okay, I want to quiz you just for a little bit.
Sure. You get to do that. I frightened you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I tell you, there's been a couple of moments on the show that really shook me to the core, and that was probably in the top 3.
Excellent. The chess pieces are being placed on the board. A Spanish train was coming through Guadalquivir. All right, how's Kristen look? Scared. Good.
If anyone can hear me, make yourself known to me. I mean you no harm. I just want to communicate. I'm really nice. If you want to talk, I'll listen.
Thinking back, because I've had a lot of time to think, I've thought about this a lot, because it's one of those unnerving moments in my life. You looked at me with my only definition example of evil. The way you looked at me. I have never, I've seen people mad, I've seen people pissed off, I've seen people sad, crying, grieving in horrible ways, but I've never seen evil in my life.
I didn't remember.
You looking at me when you turned
Yeah,
after you said something's wrong
yeah.
was the most maliciously evil looking face I had ever seen in my life.
So Tabor, I'm going to ask you a question. Just the first thing that comes into your mind. Dylan, Kristen, or Holly?
Kristen.
Kristen?
Yeah.
All right, it's your fault then. This is on you. All right, creatures that might be out there. Oh, jeez. Tabor has asked me to send you towards Kristen. And I think that's a good call. She's new. Hit her up with some cold. Let's see if we can make a temperature move. That's a good starting position for any of us, you know, good ghost hunting thing. Whoosh. Little cold on her. Change the temperature up on her somehow. Let's see if you can do that. Hit her with it.
Creeks. But there's a big creek. But I think it's just the Wilton. I felt like I had the tiniest touch on the inside of my finger. Like right in there. But maybe it's really light. I have to turn my light on. Okay. Again, I don't know if this was so weird. I'm sorry I got spooked. I didn't turn my light on. But I felt like when I was going like this, I felt like the lightest, but it wasn't a full touch. It just felt like the lightest on the inside of my finger right there. And then I got spooked because almost, and again, maybe like I'm just going crazy. Because when you're in the dark, you know what I mean? Anyway, it almost saw like I felt like there was something. It sounds crazy. It almost seemed like a circle of pitch black.
Hey, lady. What's up?
Hi. I don't know if I'm playing tricks on
Sure.
myself, but I was sitting here for a while.
Just a second. Because I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
What's happening for me right now? Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
No, not seeing something.
And you're describing a blackness.
Yeah.
Would you call that blacker than black?
That's what I thought. So I could
Yeah.
start talking.
Yeah.
What is that?
So, okay. It's kind of funny because of what we were just talking about in there. Paul likes to say synchronicity. That happens a lot. So, newcomer.
Yeah.
It's quicker for you than usual. I think some of our scariest moments on the show has come in the form of what we call darker than dark. Because as you now know, when you're in the dark, there's a certain level of, okay, this is just a dark room.
Right.
And then there's that.
Yeah.
But there's something really dark about that.
And then it usually like it has a shape or it moves.
Really?
Or there's something about it that's just different from the surrounding
Yeah.
blackness. So when you started describing that, I was just like, oh, crap.
I got it.
Yep, that's what ghost
Because it
hunting
just
is.
seemed like there was something different. Because again, like, and I was looking and I kept being like, it's so dark in here. But then it just seemed like it was like you said, like just so black, like to the point where I was like, I have to turn on my flashlight, like, and I was fine not doing it, and until then it was like I don't know if I felt like like it didn't seem, I couldn't tell like if it was evil or friendly, like, or like I couldn't read any energy from it. I was just like,
It's funny, when I first described the thing that I felt and saw at Yarmouth House to my sister, I was like trying to like reach out and communicate with it because I'm like, I don't know, maybe this is like the spirit of this girl that I've been hoping to talk to. And I told my sister about it. I was talking to her on the phone and she was just like, did it feel like the spirit of a girl? And I'm like, no, it felt gross and ugly. And she's like, then it probably was not good. So trust your gut on that.
yeah.
Because if it doesn't feel
It
good,
didn't, no.
because you say you're talking about like in the pit of your
I
stomach,
just
how
felt
you
this,
felt that
like-
clenching, then it's probably not good. And you probably did the right thing.
I just find it a bit bizarre that Paul's calling out stuff in the home base, and we're literally recounting
Oh, yeah.
the darker than dark ramifications of what happened to us in Yarmouth.
Well, I mean, when you talk about like people having different experiences at different places, I think if energies are going to present themselves to you, they're going to do it in a number of different ways, but there's going to be probably similarities between them. Now, does that mean it's the same thing?
Yeah, who knows?
But the theory behind, like, remember we were talking about orbs that one time, and you were like, well, what's the significance of an orb? And I'm like, well, theoretically, it's the easiest way for an entity to travel is in a spherical form or oval. Oh. It takes less energy to be in a ball shape than it would to be in a human shape, for example, like they see here.
Well, how you feel about going a couple more minutes?
Cool, good. I felt like, because I felt bad that I was like, I had to put, like, because it was just my first time. that it was like, I couldn't, like, when the thing touched me, I was like, okay, like, this is okay, like, this is fine. And then when that happened, I was like, I have to turn it on, but it's like, okay, this time it's like, I can talk myself up a bit to, like, be a bit more, be a bit stronger.
Love her energy.
Yeah.
It's good. Good. Be open and be like reach out, but
Right.
Be careful. Because you might find. I mean, it's totally. You got your own boundaries. I was just in my experience, being a little too open lets a little too much in.
Yeah.
So, is there anybody here? Make yourself known in the mirror. .4, if there is something in here right now, let's start lowering the temperature. Let's see if you can bring it down just 0.2 or 0.3 degrees. Hit me up with some cold. It's been a while, old friend. So, what do you got? Do you have anything? Maybe you don't have anything left. Whatever you got, let's lay it on me right now. Let's give me some St. Andrew's jail cold. Let's give me some cold from the Ottawa House. Give me some of that. Let's reach into the realms of coldness and the blackness of the void and show me what you got. Or, if not me, Dylan, because he seems susceptible to cold too. Feel free to hit him up with some. Yeah.